Yeah, and let's have, I mean, the chair's here if you want it. Up a little bit more, yeah. And let's just start to move the legs. So it can be, yeah, not too wild. So not throwing it out too much. So you're just bending the knee and then really pushing back through the heel. So feel as if you're opening up the back of the knee joint and then start to really point the toes as well as you take the leg back. So what we don't want here is to be really arching the back. So we don't want much movement here in the pelvis. It's really at the bum. So you might benefit from having a little bit of tone in the belly. Good. And then take that leg out to the side. This is a bit more challenging, so you might need your chair. And circle the ankle. And then the other way. And then release some of that tension. We'll do that on the other side. So what we're doing is standing nice and tall, belly toned, and you're just bending and straightening the leg behind you. Push through the heel to start with. And you should feel this starts to warm up the hip. It's also just getting the knee mobilized. Bending, straightening, and then try pointing the toes behind you. That will give you a slightly different sensation. So if you were going to touch a little something behind you with the toes. Good. Bending, pointing, lovely, and then take that leg out to the side, and then circle the ankle one way, circle the ankle the other way, and bring that foot in, and just swing and get legs a little bit button. Good. And then we'll go to the toes. So can you, if you can, then make this into a balance so that you're just the toes. So see if you can keep the ankle still and just waggle the toes. That's it. So the standing leg might get a bit tired. Use the chair if you want to. And then take it into the ankle. Good. And then bend the knee and stir the pot. So what we're doing, if I show you from the side there, you've lifted the knee. And you're trying to keep the thigh still, and you're just stirring with your lower leg. And then try stirring with the other leg. I mean, in the other direction. That would be, I'd like to see you try that. That would be very entertaining. Good. Shake it all the back. And let's do that on the other side. So start with toes. So if you can, try and balance without the chair, but of course it's there to help you. It's fine, don't push it. Toe scrunch. Can you keep the ankle still and just move your toes? I will catch you.
Yeah, but you're over there.
But I'm over there, so pull slowly.
Pull slowly. Okay.
And then circle the ankle one way, circle the ankle the other way. Bend the knee, so the knee is more or less in line with the hip. Don't worry too much about that. And then see if you can keep the thigh pretty still, but you're using your foot to stir the pot. And then stir the other way. And then shake it out. Good. Take your feet nice and wide. Stick your bottom out. And then you're feeling a stretch on the inner thigh as you straighten one leg and then the other. So there's a gentle bend in this knee and then a gentle bend in the other knee. You're sticking your bottom out. So should it feel too strong, you can try turning the toes out a little bit, and you could even lift the toes as you stretch. Good. And then heel toe, the legs back in, the feet back in. Nice. And then what we'll do is we'll do a little bit of warm up for the spine. So having your hands on the flat of the chair. Spread the hands quite wide. So you want your shoulders to feel as if they're stacked over the wrists. And then the shoulders draw away from the ears. So if you really press the hands down into the chair, then you should feel, oh, I thought it was the wind. How good to see you. I've got a chair for you. Lovely, thank you. I was talking. Ah, yes, there we are. Yes, okay, cat-cow. So as we inhale, shoulders draw back, sit bones lift. And see if you can just look forward. So you're not trying to look straight ahead where it compresses the back of the head. You're just looking at the floor, a foot or two in front of your chair. And then feel your feet and push into your feet, push into the hands, and then draw the belly back. And round the spine. Good. Now inhale, start to draw the gaze just in front of the chair again. Broaden the sit bones. So we're really sticking the bottom out. You can have soft knees there. And then again, feel the movement in the spine. Even looking back towards your belly. In cat pose. Inhale again, lengthening forwards, broaden sit bones. Exhale, push into the feet, push into the hands, come back into your cow pose. Lovely, or cat pose, sorry. This is cow. More relax. Good, come back into your inhale position, and then let's stay in cat for a moment. Let the head relax, so give it a little bit of a shake, and walk the hands a bit closer to the chair. So, hands, feet. Look at it right a minute. Good. And then as you push your hands into the chair, can you tuck the tailbone a little bit and the head relax? And breathe into the back. So there should be quite a good stretch on the back. Can you feel that? Yeah. And it feels okay? Lovely. Good. Now just start to look forward. Keep your hands on the chair. And then can you lift up your right foot? Bend your right knee. And then can you extend the right leg out behind you? And then bring right foot next to left, but try that on the other side. So we don't want any pain in the back or anything like that, so keep it small if it needs to be. Both hands on the chair, stepping into the right foot, bend your left knee, lifting the left foot off the floor, and then can you start to straighten the left leg out behind you? Well done, and bring the left foot next to the right. Let's try that again on the other side. So hands are nice and strong onto the chair. Turn your tummy muscles a little bit, just keep your gaze down. Start to bend your right knee and then see if you can straighten it out behind you. Yes. And then bring right foot next to left, last side, bend the left knee, straighten it out behind you, turn the belly, squeeze the bum muscle, and then step back. Good. Now bend the knees and slowly come up in a bit of a roll up. Stacking one vertebra on top of the other as you come back up. Good, and then just a little bit of a pixie dance, swing the hips a bit. And then we'll turn, yeah, me too. And then we'll turn the chair and work a bit more on the lower legs. The spine should be feeling a little bit warmer. And lift up onto the tiptoes. Now, as you come as high as you can, there shouldn't be any pain in the toes. Feel as if you're squeezing a ball between your ankles. So you've got this sense of drawing into the middle. And then squeeze your buttocks a little bit. And then see if you can let go of the chair. Take one hand off, take the other hand off. I'm not very balanced today either, but just play with it and see. So up on the tiptoes, see if you can take one hand off, easy peasy. And then see, squeeze into the middle. So as if you're squeezing that ball between your ankles, and take the other hand off. And then bring them back and slowly lower. Circle the ankles. Circle them out, release some of that tension in the lower leg. It is one of those things that the more you do, the more the brain goes, oh, you want to do that? Okay, so let's try it again. So looking at the chair, or facing the chair, fingertips on the chair, lift up onto the tippy toes. And just feel what's happening in your calf muscles. We need to firm the buttocks a little bit here as well. Feel as if you're hugging into the middle. Take one hand off and take the other hand off. Try and stay nice and steady. Well done, everyone. Really good. Stay here for another pause and then see how slowly you can take the heels back down.
I do a clunk.
A little clunk at the end. It's fine. You can work on the clunking. And then just release the tension in the ankles. Well done. I think we need to do that one more time. Okay, so fix your gaze on one point. That's always going to help with balance. And then feel as if you're squeezing everything into the middle. So you're hugging your legs towards each other, you're squeezing your sit bones towards each other. You've got some integrity in your posture. So if you've done Pilates before, you're sort of channeling some of that, drawing in. Shoulder blades are nice and relaxed. Your fingertips can be on the chair. Float onto your tiptoes and see if you can stop any waggling that happens in the ankles. So the heels are hugging towards each other. Tone the belly, fix the gaze. Take one hand off. Take the other hand off. Fix the gaze, nice and steady. And be patient. Now let's take a few breaths here. Nice. Now see how slowly you can control the descent of your heels. Slow as you can. Slow as you can. Well done. Shake out your legs. It's really hard.
That's much better as it went on, though, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, it improves. The brain goes, okay, right, okay. She's gonna stay here for a minute.
And then
Stop fighting.
suddenly it goes.
Yeah, exactly. Had enough, had enough. So let's straighten up, stretch the calves. So step back with your right leg. And just look back at the toes and see if they're more or less pointing to the right hand leg of your chair. The right toes, not the left toes. The left toe is pointing to the left. I mean, there's no reason why not. Nice. So we've got the front knees soft and the body's upright. So we come and lift the chest and face forwards. So that's going to give you a little bit more already of a stretch. Lengthen the tailbone or tummy muscles in. And then can you start to really picture the back of your knee and see, can you feel if there's a bit of a softness? Can you now open up the back of the knee so that makes you press the heel into the floor a little bit more? We get a really good stretch at the top of the calf. Can you feel that? It's very tight. It's very tight. On most of us, that's going to be pretty tight. And the weaker your glutes are, the more your calves have to work, more or less. Okay, now see if you can take your hands off the chair. Don't worry if you can't. And feel as if you're channeling that energy from the sit bone to the heel. Really pressing back. Now press your right toes into the floor as well. Take a breath and then step into your front foot and just release the tension in that foot. Give it a shake, give it a circle. You're going to go back on the same foot. Step it back, make sure those toes are pointing to the right hand leg of your chair, and then lift the chest, look forward. Soften your front knee. So you're in a lunge position. You can use the chair if you need to, or you can take your hands off. It's up to you. And then imagine the back of your knee, and imagine it's an eye, and you want to open that eye as much as you can. Push the heel into the floor, press the toes into the floor now. Feel how that draws all that tension up into the muscles. And then step forwards and give that one a little shake again. Good. And just bend and straighten the knees. So with control, no flicking here. You want to just lift the heel towards the bum and then straighten it. A couple more times. And a shake, and then just step back last time with that leg. Now you should feel that that's a bit easier.
It is.
Good. So step forward with that one. Step back with the other one. Look back at your toes. Make sure that your left toes are pointing to the left leg of your chair, and your right toes can be pointing whichever direction you'd like them. So then start to take your attention to the back leg and feel into where the calf muscle meets the knees, and you probably will feel a little bit of tension. You can have fingers on the chair underneath them if you feel wobbly. So you could separate your feet as well, so make sure the feet stay hip width apart. You end up on a tight rope, it's going to make it more difficult to balance. And then really push the back heel into the floor. And feel as if that opens out the back of the knee a tiny bit more. Now press the left toes into the floor. And that increases the tension. Step into your right foot and just shake and circle and release some of the tension in that left one. Well done. And we step back into the left again. Soft knees, gaze lifted, chest forward. And if you feel so you're a little bit tight ropey, so you could step your left, yeah, you could widen your stance a little bit. Good. And then imagine the back of the knee. And see if you can open it up even more. Lovely. So you feel a strong stretch in the back of that calf. Now press the toes into the floor. Step into your right foot. Circle the left ankle. Oh, give it a little shake. And just step back again. Last time here. Does that feel as if it's eased off? Or do we need to do that again? It's a bit loose, step back. And step back. Great. Give everything a bit of a shake.
And then you put pixie down.
Pixie dancing. Yeah. Okay. So here's pixie dance. So pixie dance opens up the front of the hip. So let's take that a little bit further forwards, I think. See how you get on with balance. I don't want you to feel unsafe. So for me, I've got a chair available to me on my side, and I'm going to step this is my left foot, do whichever one you want to, onto the chair. But I feel steady because I've got the chair here. Left foot, yeah. Yeah, all right. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is to turn my foot out to point to the top of the chair. So what I'm trying to do is to open up the groin. So maybe I'm even going to turn my standing toes out a little bit. Now I've started to get a stretch in here. Now even if you've got a new hip, this is okay. It's not too strong. Does that feel all right for you, Angela? So you want to really feel that you've got a solid foot on the chair, and then see maybe you can take your hand off. Good. So then, can we take the elbow onto that thigh? And that elbow presses into the thigh and even opens the knee out towards the baby toe. So you get a little bit more stretch. We've got that. Good. And we have the stretch song going. And then maybe, but only if this shoulder feels all right. So maybe not, but if the shoulder feels okay, you can reach it up. It might be out the side, it might be over. Wherever feels good. Have fun. And then take that hand to the hip, come up and take this arm up. Really good balance, lovely. So then hand to thigh and start to walk the toes around so they're both facing in the right direction, in the same direction rather. So both sets of toes are pointing forwards now. Use your chair if you need to. And we're going to take it into a twist. So you can keep holding onto the chair if you want to. If you feel steady, then you can have, this is my left knee and my left hand, you can have them on the hip. Opposite hand to opposite thigh, and stand really tall and see if you can take it into a twist. Really good for the brain. Keep the brain really focusing on your standing foot, so one on the floor as you twist and take a breath. And then come back. And then walk the foot to the front of the chair and then roll onto the outside of your foot. So can you feel you start to get a slightly different stretch around the glutes and the bum and the hip? And just with a finger on the, yeah. So if you have got a wall there and you can put your hand on the wall, that's fine. How does that feel for you at home? Okay, so just letting the knee drop out, great. And you get a slightly different stretch. Now really firm up your standing leg and stand tall. That's it. And then onto the ball of the foot. Now you can just step off, or if you want a challenge today, please don't fall over. Lift the foot off the chair and then step it off. So if you do this, just make sure you've got something to hang on to. Now can you feel that that hip feels a bit more loose and open? Yeah. Great, so let's change sides. So we've got the chair there if we need it. So use the chair if you need to step the foot up. And if this doesn't feel good, then find something smaller. So you could find a footstool or a pile of books or something. It doesn't have to be this high. And then turn the toes so that you're at 90 degrees from the midline. Yeah. Now make any adjustments that you need to, because if this feels too strong or not strong enough, you can always move your standing foot out or in. So we should start to feel this opening here in the groin. And then you can take the elbow on, and you've got this slight invitation. It's not a push. You shouldn't feel uncomfortable. You've got an invitation of the forearm just inviting the knee to go a little wider and increase the stretch just a tiny bit, if that feels okay to do that. And then you can take the arm out, you reach it back. If it feels good, you could maybe reach it overhead and you get a side stretch as well. Now breathe. Don't hold your breath. Lovely. Really good. Have another breath here. Take the hand back onto the hip. start to come up and see, can you take this one up? So this is an exercise in a bit of balance and control. Yeah, that's it. It doesn't have to go over if it doesn't want to. It's looking good. Okay. Yeah, good. And then turn the toes forward. So both sets of toes are pointing forwards. So then the knee is more in line with the hip. You can use the chair, you can use a wall behind you if you want to, opposite hand to opposite knee. You want to really root down into your standing leg. So make the standing leg really strong and then explore your twist. That's it, so you're twisting towards the chair. So can you take your belly button round even? And then sternum and the gaze, make sure the neck feels all right, brilliant. Lovely, and then come slowly, slowly back with control back to the center. Nice, and you can hold on to the chair for this one. If it doesn't feel comfortable, and seriously, if you do have a new hip and it doesn't feel safe to do this, then don't do this, but it should be okay. But experiment, go into it gently. So you're taking the foot to the top of the chair, or the front of the chair, and then you're rolling onto the outside of that foot. Good, so you might feel it in the joint here, and you might feel it a little bit in the side of the hips, side of the hip. I don't know what a hoot is. Might feel it in your hoot. I dread to think what that means. Now, if you want to take it a little bit stronger, stick your bottom out and bow forwards. Can you feel that? Yeah, that's delightful, isn't it? There we are. Come back. Okay, challenge for you. You can step off using the chair, or can you lift the foot off the chair? And with control, step it onto the floor. Well done. Pixie dance. Pixie dance. Really nice. Good. And let's sit down. You.
Do you know, I am really surprised and through my balance quite good today.
See?
Very important.
Oh my goodness, it's the most important.
Yeah, I mean, I'm able to do things that I often can't.
Yeah.
You know, I must have done something right.
I think getting the awareness into the feet first is a really big
Yeah.
difference.
That's probably.
So moving the toes and the ankles helps to wake up the proprioceptors in the feet, and if they're awake, then you've got half a chance of actually balancing.
Yeah.
So let's have feet widen on the floor, so come forward on your chair a little bit if you want to. And we'll just come back to a bit of spinal mobilization. So cat-cow again, it's always different in whichever position you do it in. So we did it standing with hands on the chair. Here, because you're sitting, your pelvis is pinned. You know, you can't waggle it about and cheat. So pressing the hands into the thighs and start to lift the chest. So we've got an arch in the back. And we don't want to feel pinchy, but you want to feel like you're getting space in the side of the body and the front of the body and space between the hips and the sternum. And then take it into the opposite direction. So pushing into your feet a little bit helps to tilt the pelvis backwards. And then as you start to bow and maybe look down at the floor, you get the stretch in the back. Take a breath into that stretch. So as you breathe into the back of your lungs, you might feel that the back opens up a little bit. And then let's come back into the cow equivalent, which is the broad sit bones, broad collarbones, and the arch. Can you draw the shoulder blades into the back of the heart? So see, can you actually squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift the chest a bit? Now take a breath into the chest and feel how that gives you a little bit more space as well. And then back into your cat pose, push into the floor. That helps to tilt the pelvis backwards as you push your feet down. And then back. Now breathe into the back there. And then walk the feet back together. You can stay forwards in your chair. Let's do a bit of a hamstring stretch. So knees pointing forward, straighten your right leg. Your weight goes on your left leg. And the same principle as what you just did in cow pose is broadening your sit bones. So you get the arch in your back, broadening the collarbones, and then you fold at the hip. So that's where we start to really access the back of this leg. Everyone got that? If that feels too strong, Be gentle and kind to your body so you can relax the foot. That will take a lot of it out. So then let's do this, the power of touch. So take your hand to where it feels tight, down the back of the thigh, back of the knee and into the top of the calf. And just give it some real firm stroke. And you could even do a rub here. Now, can you feel you haven't changed the stretch and yet it feels easier? So it's the power of touch. It's just saying to the brain, this is okay to do this. Feel the difference?
Yeah.
Good. So take that hand to the back of the knee. And as you come back up, just lift that knee in and hug the knee in to your own degree. So if you're a bit tight in the back, you won't hug it in so much. And then point and flex and circle the foot. One way, then the other way. And then sit really tall, point the toes. And then we'll put that foot on the floor. Put your thumb in your hip crease. If you've got an arthritic thumb that doesn't feel comfortable, you can use your fingertips just right into the hip crease and then let the knee flobble. That's a terrible word. Float in and out. So can you feel that you just give it a little massage in the hip flexor there? Good. Then we take that to the other side. All right. So left leg bent. Start by drawing the toes back, because then we see where we are. Sit tall, and again that pure pose posture. So the shoulder blades draw back, the chest lift, your collarbones broaden, your sit bones broaden. Then from the hip, try leaning forwards. The weight's on your bent knee. So you just take it to the point where you start to introduce yourself to the stretch. You're not taking it to the point where it feels that it's going to ping. You don't want pinging. You can try relaxing the foot and see if that eases it to a point where that's a bit better. Feel okay, everyone? Lift chest a little bit, stick the bottom out. Good. So that you should be really engaged with quite a decent stretch, but it shouldn't feel pingy and horrible. So then take some pressure into the back of that leg. So you're from the belly of the hamstring, a firm stroke, back of the knee, top of the calf. Really firm, really feel it. Good. So just try it more to the back, yeah. And can you feel that that's eased it off? Just the power of that touch. Good. So then hands to the back of the knee, scoop it up as you bring the knee in, and then relax the back a little bit, and then just mobilize the ankle and the feet, the toes, one way, then the other way, and then just sit really tall. And then release. Let the knees come out, and you can put the thumb into that hip crease. So here, or the fingertips. So you feel there's a really big tendon there, right in the middle. If you're not sure, if you can't feel it, lift your foot off the floor. Oh, what's your tendon big? It is big. It's really big, very powerful, very useful muscle. And yes, just a little bit of pressure on that as you mobilize. You're basically just opening that space up. It feels good. Just feels good. Lovely. Okay, and then both knees can float in and out a little bit, and then sit back and paddle your feet. Yes, exactly. And then sit really comfortably, so you can use your grip. You've got lovely long legs, so maybe you don't need one, but actually it's quite nice to have one anyway.
It is lovely.
Would you rather have a bolster? It's nice, have a bolster.
And one of those nice.
So I'm going to do something here to put your feet on as you sit, because we want to be comfortable. We're going to do a little bit of upper body stuff. And just, it helps. Is that still alright for you, even though you've got nice legs? Yeah. So just tilt the pelvis backwards and makes you relax. So here we're not worrying too much about what the spine's doing, you just want to be comfortable. And then relax the hands into your lap. So for the moment, take the arms out of the equation and just lift the shoulders. Good, and then drop them, and lift them, and then squeeze them back, and then drop them. So lift, squeeze back, draw down, drop. So lift, squeeze back, draw, lift. So it's got 4 fights. Squeeze, down, drop. Yeah, and really relax. When you let go, up, squeeze, back, drop. Okay, So that's the easy bit. Now let's try the same thing with arms up. So fingers pointing down to the ceiling. What? It's come out of my mouth, I don't know.
That's what we have.
Come downstairs is ceiling. Point down to downstairs is ceiling, otherwise known as the floor. Okay, now as you do that, feel as if somebody's drawing your fingertips downwards. Okay, and then take the head to one side and feel the stretch that side. Then come back to the center and gently just explore. We don't want it to be painful here. You're just noticing the stretch. Take it to the other side. Back to the center. This time, turn your head. Keep the fingertips really pushing down to the floor. And then take your gaze down. And back up. Center. Turn to the side. Drop. And look down. Good, and just ease that tension out, so give your arms a bit of a shake. So we're going to do the same thing, point the fingertips down to the floor. Okay, and then we'll just do the same shoulder roll. So you're going to lift, your arms are still quite firm, you're going to squeeze them back, draw them down, and then relax them, but the arms stay as they are. So up, squeeze back, draw down, push through the fingertips, and then relax the shoulders. Good, just do that one more time. Squeeze back, down, and release. Okay, push through the fingertips. Take one ear to the opposite, to the shoulder. Good. So feel that stretch, and point those fingers going in the other direction away, so you get even more stretch. Now, start to turn the head, so you're going to look down the other arm to the fingers. And then come back slowly up to the center, just release that tension. Can you feel that coming up into the neck? Mm-hmm. Okay, so fingertips pointing down to the floor as if you're Buzz Lightyear, infinity and beyond. You're just going to take off. So ear to shoulder, find that stretch, pointing those fingers away, and then start to turn and look down the other arm. Good. And then release and circle the shoulders just with a bit more ease. Release some of that tension, give your head a little bit of a shake. Lovely. And then yeah, interlink the fingers gently, gently. Interlink the fingers. Take the hands behind the skull. So you don't want the hands on the neck, you want them on the skull. Elbows are forwards a little bit, so that should help you relax the shoulders. So shoulders are relaxing away from the back of the skull, hands are supporting the back of the skull, and then you're just going to press the back of the skull into the hands. Yeah. So can you feel as if your neck's getting longer? So you're pressing the head into the hands, elbows forwards, shoulders relaxed. Now feel as if you're sliding your shoulder blades down away from the back of the skull. Nice. So we're going to really slowly relax that pressure, keep the hands where they are. Shrug the shoulders. Drop the shoulders and then release the hands. So your head should feel like it's going to float off. Yeah. Okay. Roll the shoulders. Good. And we'll just do a little bit of dragon mouth squeezing. So start at the forearm. So your fingers are together and you're going to be squeezing the flesh between your finger pads and the heel of your hand. So squeezing forearm, so up the thumb side really. That's it. To the elbow, waggle your fingers and feel the muscles jump underneath your hands and then go back down again. This is still puppy stuff.
I'm afraid so. I've got put smaller plasters on today.
Is that puppy? Yeah. Is he touching you?
Not malicious.
No, it's just he doesn't know what to do about it.
You know what
Yeah.
And then coming up from elbows to shoulder, squeezing the flesh and back down again. Nice. And then we'll come up over the corner and into the trapezius. So as you're working on this muscle here, you're just gently squeezing, look away from it, and then look down a little bit. Feel that? And work the fingers up to where the neck meets the shoulder, and maybe a little bit up to the neck, and just do what feels good here, and then back down the arm, all the way to the wrist. Squeezing, And then relax the arms out to the side. Can you feel the difference between the two sides? A little bit from where you've been squeezing. So coming up the thumb side of the forearm, again, pressing. And if this feels really tiring in your hand, just have a break, have a shake, and do a couple more. So you can keep breaking it up. So you're going between the wrist and the elbow, squeezing, and you can try waggling your fingers, feel the muscles jump in your hands. Yeah. And then go elbow to shoulder, and back down again, and up again. And then into the top of the shoulder. And as you're working on this top part here, this fleshy bit that's often really tight, turn away from it and then look down. Then you get a little stretch in there as well. Just explore what feels good, maybe a little bit into the neck. Good. And then release, shake the arms, shake the hands, and circle the shoulders. Great. Now you're going to do, you can close your eyes for this, but just have a look at what I'm going to do first. So you're going to squeeze your jaw, squeeze your mouth, squeeze your eyes, and squeeze your fists. And then you're going to open up, and you can do that 3 times. Okay, don't worry about what anybody else looks like. It feels really good. Okay, so squeeze your jaw, mouth, eyes, face, fist, and then open up, look up, and then do it again. And open up, stretch the face. Okay, last one. Open up and then take your hands underneath your cheekbones. Open mouth, and you're just going to stretch the jaw muscles. Slide your hands down your face. Your fingertips are on the chin. And then relax. See how great that feels in your face? It does. And then just rub your face. And rub your head, scalp, face, chest, arms. And then we can just relax. So let your hands drop into your lap. Take a nice deep breath. Close the eyes. And then let the body relax. So feel the belly muscles just relax and allow your body to slump as long as it's comfortable. Relaxing the jaw, the face. And feel your feet also heavy into the floor, and let the legs relax. So that might mean that the knees drop out. See if there's any more tension that you can let go of. And keep your eyes closed, body relaxed, and take a really deep breath. Inhaling, fill the body with all of that air, and then exhaling, starting to blink the eyes awake.
Thank you very much. That was lovely. Yeah.